Coming up in the news, Ogun government distributes palliatives to victims of farmers' headers crisis in Yewa North local government. Nigeria to receive first tranche of COVID-19 vaccines on Tuesday. Federal government to complete Lagos-Ibadan Expressway project in 2022. Hong Kong charges 47 activists for subversion. Peace, it's at our fingertips if we allow it to be. Hello and welcome to our comprehensive news package here on Ogun State Television. I am Olayinka Shodunke. Unity, tranquility and harmony can only be achieved in a peaceful society, hence the need for people to cohabit peacefully. Ogun State Chairman, Peacekeeping Committee on Farmers' Herdsmen Conflicts, Honorable Kayode Oladele, stated this during the flag-off of the palliative distribution to the affected people of farmers' herdsmen crisis in Igua and Asha in Yewa North local government area of the state. Yusuf Ganiyu reports.
The Peacekeeping Committee on Farmers' Herdsmen Conflict, inaugurated by the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, is expected to unravel activities that often led to the farmers' herdsmen crisis in the state. The committee, led by its chairman, Honorable Kayode Oladele, was in Egua and Asa in Yewa North local government area to flag off the distribution of palliatives to cushion the effect of the farmers' herdsmen crisis on the affected people in the area.
The entire community of Ketu land, I am expressing my appreciation of this great, very great and concerned step which our governor has taken as palliative measure.
The Peacekeeping Committee further noted that Ogun West Central District used to be one of the peaceful areas, adding that everything possible will be done to ensure that the unity and harmony are restored for peaceful coexistence in the country.
Section 14 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, only security and welfare of the people shall be the primary responsibility of government. This is why this committee was set up. This is why the governor is particular about it, because we want to ensure security. We want to ensure that we also provide adequate welfare for the people that are affected.
The subcommittee chairman on palliative and commissioner for budget and planning, Mr. Olaolu Olabito, said the distribution of the palliatives showed that the state government is not leaving any stone unturned, particularly in terms of welfare of its people. After his visit to Asa community, Honorable Kayode Oladele addressed journalists on the next line of action towards putting a check to the incessant clashes between the farmers and herdsmen.
Everybody is really appalled with when you consider the fact that this is an unprovoked attack. But as it were, we are a committee. We don't want to preempt what will be the committee's report. But what we have come to do is to have an on-the-spot assessment of what has really happened. And from what we've seen so far today, a lot had been properties, houses, cars, motorbikes, and so many things. And people have also complained to us about even their inability to go to their farms. Therefore, that has also increased a lot of the proportion of famine and hunger in the land. And I believe it's one of the reasons why we're here.
The Peacekeeping Committee also emphasized that the root causes of the clashes will be looked into, as well as find a lasting solution for peace to reign. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Now, the federal government has confirmed that Nigeria will receive the first tranche of COVID-19 vaccine on Tuesday, March the 2nd, 2021. This is according to the chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Mr. Boss Mustafa. He said this on Saturday in Abuja, the Nigerian capital. The PTF chairman, who also doubles as the secretary to the government of the Federation, explained that the first shipment of 3,924,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines is coming from COVAX, a World Health Organization-backed initiative set up to procure and ensure equitable distribution among countries across the globe.
vaccines are coming, and they are coming very quickly. Bearing any change in the delivery plan that has been released to us by UNICEF, our vaccines are supposed to, like I said, bearing any change, because the logistical arrangements and other things are in the. We believe that our vaccines should depart the 1st of March 2021 at 10:30 p.m. in the night and arrive Abuja on the 2nd of March 2021 at about 11:10 a.m. in the morning.
Earlier in the month, the Minister of Health, Dr. Sage Yanere, had confirmed that Nigeria will be getting the COVAX vaccine in March and explained that the federal government is targeting to vaccinate 70% of the population. The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has said that the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway will be completed in the first quarter of 2022. He said this during an interview with journalists. According to him, the delay in the completion of the project was caused by the government's inability to shut down the bridge totally. He noted that 80 kilometers of the 127-kilometer road had been completed, urging road users to be patient with the government. The minister said, as we speak, 80 kilometers has been completed. Some of the parts of the road used today have been completed. The reconstruction and rehabilitation of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway was flagged off in 2013 and was awarded to 2 firms. Julius Berger is constructing Section 1, which stretches from Mojota to Lagos and to the Shagamu interchange, while the RCC is working from Shagamu interchange to Ibadan. The federal government has reviewed that the Eastern Railway Corridor, Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, will now have a branch route in Abakaliki, Ebonyi and Awka in Anambra State. Disclosing this at the weekend in Lagos, the Minister of Transportation, Honorable Rotimi Amechi, stated this, that the extension of the rail route is part of government effort to. The minister added that the Eastern Railway Corridor will now have a branch route in Abakaliki and Awka. It stated that also the President Muhammadu Buhari, will perform the groundbreaking ceremony for the Eastern Rail Corridor on the 9th of March 2021. While inspecting Lagos-Ibadan Railway project, the minister commended the level of work done, adding that the laying of the track has been successfully done into Apapa Port. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, and tertiary institutions have agreed to close admissions for the 2020-2021 academic session by the 15th of June 2021. The decision was a virtual meeting attended by heads of tertiary institutions last week. JAMB's head of information, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, said in a statement on Sunday. The statement said the registrar of JAMB, Professor Isiaka Loyede, used the meeting to know the progress tertiary institutions had made on the 2020-2021 admission scale. According to the statement, the meeting would enable the board to put necessary machineries in place for the 2021-2022 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination Registration exercise. It has become imperative for Nigerians to always imbibe the spirit of oneness and tolerance in optimizing the potentials of diverse ethnicity for national integration. This was a submission of respondents who spoke with our reporter, Adebola Oshomoji, on the strategic ways of promoting and maintaining peace and unity in the country. Our reports.
Nigeria is a multi-ethnic and culturally diverse society that has witnessed conflict. Research has shown that African cultures are under threat, as these cultures are in fact being pushed beyond limit of tolerance in manners that suggest danger.
And that is what the government is doing now, by setting up a peacekeeping committee. That peacekeeping committee will enhance engagement between parties, so that if a party has been offended, then they will take the matter to the other party, and the two of them can sit together and prefer a solution.
Find ourselves in a country where we have over 250 ethnic groups in the Federation. And indeed, it's an issue of concern that has both negative and positive. But by the virtue of quality leadership, we can optimize the positive aspects. This can be done by looking into the comparative and absolute advantage where the all ethnics we can bring on board to develop our great country, Nigeria.
Respondents are of the opinion that the pathways to end insecurity and other social vices is for Nigerian citizens to embrace the spirit of oneness and tolerance.
We need what we call social rebate, generally. So we need to begin to reason as responsible citizens who equally see ourselves as stakeholders.
We just have to coexist. We have to cohabit. There's no how we send somebody. Our constitution does not say that a set of people cannot live in a particular area. But what is a modality for us coexisting in peace, in harmony?
They also submitted that cultures hold the key to growth, integration, identity, and development.
Then, when you now look at the culture, there is a program introduced by former military head of state, General Yakub Gowon, National Youth Service Corps, for unity and integration, well conceived, well packaged, initially well implemented. At a point, due to Nigerian factor, insecurity of lives and property, we begin to implement it.
There is thus a strong interrelationship among culture, growth, progress, development, and even natural integration. Adebola Oshomuji, OGTV News.
Globalization can help solve fundamental problems with the global economy, such as poverty and unemployment. This was a submission of some Nigerians who spoke with our reporter Yusuf Ganiyu on the challenges of globalization of Nigeria industrial sector. His report.
Globalization is driven by the convergence of political, cultural and economic systems that ultimately promote and often necessitate increased interaction and dependence amongst others. Nigeria is undoubtedly facing a number of challenges that have to do with the consolidation of the gains of globalization.
The globalization issue gives a lot of advantage. So the challenge that we are having, that you could be having as an indigenous producer or entrepreneur, will likely have to do with you having to scale up your quality and then to meet up with the demand or the international standard.
According to respondents, lack of adequate and proper implementation of policies is one of the major challenges causing setback to the industrial sector in the country.
Government will take advantage of the technology that has come up in recent, particularly in this century that we have entered. This century is now about 21 years old, but we have not taken advantage of it. We have not taken advantage of it. We expect that since we had technological schools, technology universities, so many things, the country should direct its efforts towards that. Most of those things, most of these machineries we are importing from abroad to move our industries. Most of them can be fabricated here in Nigeria.
They said the rapid pace of globalization in the early 24th century is driven primarily by technology and communications.
It is a welcome development. It is something that we must try to work around our own shortcomings, our own inhibitions, our own challenges, which are basic things, our own infrastructure, our own environment, so that the business will be conducive for us to compete with our other counterparts in another clime.
It was emphasized that globalization also gives poorer countries an opportunity for economic exposure to foreign capital and technology, resulting in conditions that foster and improve standards of living for the citizens of the nation. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Now, armed bandits may have begun illegal activities in Kagara, Rafi local government area of Niger State at the weekend and same day that 38 students, teachers and other persons had earlier been adopted en masse from a government-signed secondary school in the town regained freedom. Reports have it that were on Saturday allegedly hacked to death by the criminals, while several others were said to have been kidnapped in fresh onslaught on the town and some neighboring communities within the local government area of the state. According to a community leader in Kagara, Musa Kabe, 8 persons were allegedly kidnapped in Kundu and 11 others in nearby Guna district. He said the 4 people murdered in cold blood through the gunshot were said to have hailed from Karako, an adjoining village in the area, while no fewer than 7 persons were still being declared missing. The source further informed that the fleeing bandits allegedly rustled many cows in the affected communities. You're still watching OGTV News. More news and reports after the break. Do join us again. Welcome back. On the foreign scene, police have fired on protesters in Myanmar, killing at least, right office says, on the deadliest day of the anti-coup cities, including Yangon, Dawei and Mandalay, as police used live rounds. Security forces began the violent crackdown on Saturday after weeks of largely peaceful protest against the 1st of February military takeover. Government leaders, including Aung San Suu Kyi, were overthrown and detained. Social media footage from Sunday showed protesters running away as police charged them, makeshift road blocks being erected and several people being led away covered in blood. The police crackdown was expanded on Sunday as coup leaders sought to catch a civil disobedience campaign that has shown no sign of ending. Still on the foreign scene, police in Hong Kong have charged 47 activists with subversion in the largest use yet of the territory's controversial security law. The 47, among a group of 55 arrested in Dawn last month, were told to report to police stations for detention ahead of court appearances on Monday. Beijing enforced the law criminalizing a subversive act last year, saying it was needed to bring stability. Now in sports, the Gateway United Football Club continued its fine form with a 2-0 win over Apex Crane of Agbo in match day 4 of the 2020-2021 Nigerian National League campaign. Aruna Salifu opened the scoring in the 28th minute after tapping in Sheyi Okelwo's free kick from the left, while Aderemi Yusuf sealed the win in the second half precisely 84 minutes with a well-composed strike. Next is Ogun State derby between Gateway United and Remo Stars in a match day 5 encounter at Remo Stadium in Ikenne on Sunday, 7th of March 2021. Still in sports, Bundesliga crisis club Schakau sacked almost their entire sporting leadership on Sunday, including